Hello and welcome to the Online Creators Association's Thursday night live stream. I'm here tonight with Argit and maybe Micah. Micah was supposed to be in the waiting area right now. She was hanging out in the green room call, so I assume she's coming. But yeah, we don't have a ton to talk about tonight. I did pull up the newsroom to check and see if there are any articles that we should talk about. There are a couple of things that we can read through, but I don't think it's going to take up the whole hour. So there's Micah. Hi, Micah.
I clicked the wrong link.
I thought that might have been what happened.
On Monday, I forgot to hit the button that says enter the room. So, hey, we are on top of it.
We're doing great.
All right. So I was just saying that we got the TikTok newsroom tonight. We got a couple of articles that we can talk about, but I don't think it's going to take the whole stream. So there will probably be just some light digging around after that. So the first one, more ways for our community to enjoy what they love. TikTok's diverse community transcends generations, spanning from teens to grandparents and everyone in between. We build with these different audiences in mind by limiting features by age and empowering our community with content controls and supporting families with parental controls. Today, we're announcing new features and technologies that will help viewers customize their viewing preferences and continue to have a safe and entertaining experience on TikTok. A new tool to customize content. Part of what makes the TikTok experience unique is the ability for people to discover new interests, creators, and ideas. We design our recommendation system with safety in mind, since content in someone's For You feed may come from a creator they prefer not to follow or relate to an interest they may not share. For instance, certain categories of content may be ineligible for recommendation, and viewers can use our Not Interested feature to automatically skip videos from a creator or that use the same audio. To further empower viewers with ways to customize their viewing experience, we're rolling out a tool people can use to automatically filter out videos with words or hashtags they don't want to see from their For You or following feeds, whether because you've just finished a home product and no longer want DIY tutorials, or if you want to see fewer dairy or meat recipes as you move to more plant-based meals. This feature will be available to everyone in the coming weeks. Freaking out when she tried to start watching. Anybody else having problems with Twitch? Let us know.
Which is how I knew I wasn't on the right stream. I'm concerned that it says it can filter out words. Does it mean spoken words or does it mean caption words?
I think it means caption. I think it means I think it means the content of the text box.
Okay.
The subtitle, caption, title thing. I think that when we get it, we should experiment with whether it also filters words in captions, words in stickers, words that appear on screen that could theoretically have been OCR'd, and words that are spoken but that are not recorded in the captions.
Because the captions is what I'm actually worried about, because if they can do that with their captioning and they choose to go that route, there is a whole lot of other crap that I'm concerned that they're going to do or are doing.
So I was going to add to that too. I appreciate that sentence, but that sentence very much sounds like it makes sense to people who are internal having conversations about the rollout of this new feature, but it's very unclear to us because of this kind of stuff. And I do very much feel that they do look at everything, because there's a number of people that will actually go through their automatic captions generated by the app and either replace certain letters with letters that have the accents over them, or replace out for completely different words or emojis, which I understand for accessibility issues.
And see, I do
not the best choice, but to get it posted.
So my first thought when I heard about this tool is, oh, we're gonna get TikTok's about to get even more like Tumblr, because fucking tag your pomegranates. if it does check captions for filtered words, there is definitely going to be discourse about it being unacceptable to falsify your captions.
So I'm less concerned about the user end of it than I am about the way that if TikTok is actively crawling your captions for specific words, that creates an accessibility issue because people are going to try and get around that because it means that TikTok can also use that to suppress content, to choose what content it deems is unacceptable. It's essentially another way that TikTok could potentially make shitty decisions.
I don't know whether TikTok is doing that. I do know that the cultural consensus on TikTok among creators is that TikTok already does that.
Right, so but this would be...
I don't think that's a problem introduced by this feature because that's a problem that everybody who's going to believe it exists already believes it exists.
Agreed. But if we can confirm that they're doing this with that feature, that lends more credibility and it gives us an actual data point.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas right now it's just they might be, we have no way to track it.
It also gives us a somewhat more concrete explanation for pushing for a movement on app in disability advocacy to get TikTok to commit to not censoring content based on the words said in captions.
Yep.
Because that explicit commitment is necessary to protect correct captioning.
Mm-hmm. It would also just be nice that for,
if the captioning picks up on a bad term and you change the word, maybe it misheard. What if it still blocks your video anyway because it heard the bad word? That is one of the things. Yeah, that's one of the things I was saying I want to test for.
Yeah. It would also be nice to, not have to change the word Nazi to Yahtzee every time.
Yeah. There's that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of Asian American and Pacific Islander folks that I follow on the app too, that they are constantly having to change words by some means, like I mentioned before, either switching to letters that have accents on them or replacing words for example, like you mentioned with Yahtzee for Nazi, in order to just try to get their message out. And they still get reported and suppressed and stuff too, but I hate it here.
The hell app that we've all committed to.
Yes. So the short version of the new feature is that there's a way for you to, or there will be a way implemented so that instead of saying these are hashtags that I enjoy, you can say these are hashtags I do not want to see. So for example, I personally am very excited to finally be able to filter out all the ASMR. You can fucking keep it.
I'm putting spider in my filter. It doesn't come up often, but I am arachnophobic and I don't want to see videos of spiders ever.
Yep.
That is good for me to know. I will never send you anything with spiders in it.
Thank you. I am glad that that's your response. Some people's response is, I'm glad to hear that I will send you spiders.
No, I only do that to people that deserve it.
Yes. I have a longtime friend. We've known each other since middle school, and she is arachnophobic. So I just totally we were once at a theme park, and she said, "We are going to go this way now," and I went, "Why?" And she's like, "Well, because there was a spider on there." So from that point forward, I knew. So when we went to Disney together this one time, I said, "Okay, we are making a left turn immediately." Why? I said, "Don't look, just don't look back." She goes, "Oh, thank God. I really didn't want this day to be ruined." My sister also is not a huge fan of spiders. So yes, no, I take it very seriously. Do not.
I just wouldn't want people to send me stuff with clowns on it. So why would I send them stuff with things that they don't want to be sent?
Mm-mm. My one exception for clowns, I'm not super averse to clowns, but I do Puddles Piddle Party.
That's not a clown. That's different.
Pity. I always say piddle, but it's pity. Puddles Pity Party, not piddle.
Yeah, I did recently get over my fear of watching the new It movies because it's really hard to be scared of something that can be destroyed by a child. And when you can just bully the monster into it not existing anymore, that also cuts down on the whole like scary factor.
I saw that episode of Supernatural.
I am going to get back to that article because there are more features to talk about. But before we do that, I do want all of us to just take a moment to talk about Tag Your Pomegranates. So this is a classic Tumblr post. Anonymous said, even if you say it's a fruit, I don't know, it looks like gore. Better safe than sorry. Please tag it. Even if I say it's fruit, it is fruit. There isn't any factual ambiguity to be discussed about the nature of my statement on the matter. It's fruit. And it's so good for you. Gross. To which somebody responded, don't be a fucking asshole. Even if it's not gore, tag it. That looks like a fucking heart at first glance. Oh no, I have to take 3 seconds out of my day to stop someone from being uncomfortable. Holy shit. Tag your gore/pomegranates asswipe.
I like remember that vividly, and I still think it's the funniest fucking thing.
So like, for everybody who's been tracking the TikTok is Tumblr 2.0 saga, pomegranates on your bingo card?
That one, the TikTok specific example of that kind of thing too, for me, I still think about that one video that was flagged for nudity. It was a person's hand. She was tatting lace.
Mm-hmm.
And they took it down and like gave her like a temp ban for nudity. She's like,
didn't you know?
I guess I'll be wearing gloves from now on. Like, dang, like, you guys, can we wear it down?
Lady hands are very explicit. Must gloves all times.
I thought it was ankles.
Do you guys remember the computer scientist years like 2020, like right around when I first got on the app, who had fed a bunch of porn to an image recognition bot and then like set it to spit out what it thinks porn looks like, and it was just like blobs of flesh near a lake.
Yep.
And she posted a video about it, and it got taken down for nudity, and she was like, this is insane, there was definitely no nudity in it. And then she thought about it for a second and was like, oh no, wait, this is exactly what computers think nudity is.
She's like, oh, I did this.
I'm also a blob of flesh.
Jumping back into the article. An update on our efforts to diversify recommendations. We want to play a positive role in the lives of people who use the app, and we're committed to fostering an environment where people can express themselves on a variety of topics while also protecting against potentially challenging or triggering viewing experiences. Last year, we began testing ways to avoid recommending a series of similar content topics that may be fine in a single video but potentially problematic if viewed repeatedly, such as topics related to dieting, extreme fitness, sadness, and other well-being topics. We've also been testing ways to recognize if our system may inadvertently be recommending a narrower range of content to a viewer. As a result of our tests and iteration in the US, we've improved the viewing experience, so viewers now see fewer videos about these topics at a time. We're still iterating on this work given the nuances involved. For example, some types of content may have both encouraging and sad themes, such as disordered eating recovery content. We're also training our systems to support new languages as we look to expand these tests to more markets in the coming months. Our aim is for each person's For You feed to feature a breadth of content, creators, and topics they'll love. I don't know if you guys are catching something about this to hate, but I think this is an uncomplicated good.
It's got a lot of work to do, but
it is in most ways. I can see where this is going to backfire on people. It is mostly an uncomplicated good.
Yes.
It has potential to do the shitty thing that TikTok does, where it impacts vulnerable communities because it reads those communities as sad or in that vein. Like people doing activist work are likely going to be negatively impacted by something like this because it can.
I agree that risk exists. It does sound like the thing about what was it? We're iterating this work given the nuances involved. For example, sometimes the content may have both encouraging and sad themes. That sounds to me like they are aware of that problem and are taking steps to try and mitigate it. I do also think that sadness, Yagami says sadness is a bit broad. That is true. But I think one of the really important things about this, I think the most important thing about this is an unambiguous statement on TikTok's part that they acknowledge that they are responsible for the like affective consequences of the feed and that they cannot be neutral on that topic. That's a really good, like that's an extremely important position to have TikTok taking. That is a line that we really want to push them on.
Yeah, it aligns a lot with many of the goals that we have as an organization.
Yeah, like this step entails conceding the first point in all of the arguments we want to make.
Yes, and in that way, like net good, net positive, happy to see it. Wary of implementation on their part, just because they don't have the best track record with that kind of stuff. But happy to see that they're not being complacent about it.
Yeah. Introducing content levels to help further safeguard the viewing experience. Now, I think I read up about this one a little bit, and this is one of the ones we've been explicitly saying should exist. Like, we really want this. Whether people come to TikTok to search for recipe inspiration, have a laugh after a long day at work, or discover new interests through their For You feed, we continually work to create a safe and enjoyable viewing experience. Our community guidelines are central to this by setting the standards for what is and is not allowed on our platform. Within these strict policies, we understand that people may want to avoid certain categories of content based on their personal preferences. Or for our teenage community members, some content may contain mature or complex themes that may reflect personal experiences or real-world events that are intended for older audiences. Recognizing this, we are working to build a new system to organize content based on thematic maturity. People will be familiar with similar systems from their use in the film industry, television, and gaming, and we're creating with these in mind while also knowing we need to develop an approach unique to TikTok. In the coming weeks, we will begin to introduce an early version to help prevent content with overly mature themes from reaching audiences between ages 13 and 17. When we detect that a video contains mature or complex themes, for example, fictional scenes that may be too frightening or intense for younger audiences, a maturity score will be allocated to the video to help prevent those under 18 from viewing it across the TikTok experience. We have focused on further safeguarding the teen experience first, and in the coming months, we plan to add new functionality to provide detailed content filtering options for our entire community so they can enjoy more of what they love. One of the things that I think we really want to see as a development on this is creators being able to mark their accounts as 18 plus. Because that would save TikTok a lot of filtering effort. They are very carefully avoiding saying that this will be good for sex workers, so I assume they're not planning on letting up on that at all, but this would be a step in a direction of making the platform less hostile to sex work.
I can see where this could be really, really great for Kink Talk educators specifically.
Yeah.
Where they're not necessarily posting anything that is considered explicit or even really mentions anything of a sexual nature, but they are talking about things that belong in 18 plus communities. And to be fair, most of the people on that side of TikTok self-mark their accounts as 18 plus.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do. It's just that that's not an enforceable thing. Like putting under 18 don't watch, don't interact in your bio does not make 18-year-olds not watch or interact.
But I'm just saying, like, in terms of pushback, I don't think that TikTok would have to worry about it because people are already trying to do that themselves.
Yeah, no.
And it would be an easy step.
Yeah, and I think that is a feature that a lot of people want. That is like good faith creators want to correctly categorize their content.
Yes. I will say that in order for any of this to work, TikTok needs to centralize where they keep ages.
And that's the point that I wanted to make too, is that I love the idea of this. Like, again, as with the previous paragraph, like we were saying, that it is going to be overall a net good, but they need to allow us to enter our frickin' date of birth, and then they need to lock it in, stop asking repeatedly so that people could potentially change their age, and then stop choosing arbitrarily to override the age that is entered and mark a person as a minor indefinitely, and without the ability for them to appropriately appeal and get it overturned in any kind of like reasonable manner. Because like there are so many people, like I think I could think of about a half a dozen people off the top of my head who have been incorrectly marked as a minor, and they cannot escape that hell. There's nothing they can do to get away from it. And it's like, well, how long are they going to be a minor?
My friend,
and the app doesn't tell you.
My friend is 32 and had to create a new account because they kept telling her she was a minor. Because, like, does she dress like a child and act like a 13-year-old boy? Yes. But she's...
All right, so it's been a minute since I've, like, heard a story about somebody getting marked as a minor when they are, like, provably an adult in records that TikTok has. Mm-hmm. It is not outside the scope of possibility that this is a solved problem. What?
We had somebody join just last week in Toka because the app refuses to allow them to prove that they're not a minor.
Okay, are we talking about somebody whose age is entered somewhere and they are provably adult at some point in the app?
They would have. Well, you have to enter your age to set up an account, don't you?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But anytime you delete the app, you get to enter your age again.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, because I delete my app all the time because I don't keep drafts, because I'm like, when things are just like absolutely going to shit for the app, I delete it and I try again, and it asks me to re-enter my date every time, or my date of birth every time that I join. So this individual joined the server specifically because they were having this issue. It was like just last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. And they did that. They deleted the app, they rejoined, entered their date of birth, and they're still experiencing the issue, and they're still waiting on a ticket that they submitted in that free form following the guide that you posted in the resources channel in the Discord. And they're still just waiting. Like, how can I prove to you that I'm a legal adult? Here's my license. Like, what do you want from me? Like, why can't I tell you made a mistake and you go, oops, yeah, we made a mistake, and move on? Like, it should not be taking days, weeks, months like it has been for multiple people.
Mm-hmm. All right, so point conceded, they have not fixed this yet. If they do fix it, I don't think we're going to get an article about it.
No.
Which was the point that I was working towards, is we should be paying attention. We should be keeping an eye out for when that problem just, like, when we stop noticing that problem, because that's probably the most notice we're going to get that it's been fixed.
Yeah.
Anyway, wrapping up, building for the needs of the global community. As we continue to build and improve these systems, we're excited about the opportunity to contribute to a long-running industry-wide challenges in terms of building for a variety of audiences. And with recommender systems, we also acknowledge that what we're blah, 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 blah. I don't care about any of this. Yeah. We've got one more thing to talk about. It is a small business thing. It's called Follow Me. Have we talked about this before?
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
All right.
Please continue.
Introducing Follow Me to help small businesses build community and grow their business on TikTok. For all your businesses' needs. Today, we're introducing Follow Me, a multi-channel educational experience designed to help small and medium businesses, SMBs, leverage the power of TikTok to drive real-world results. The 6-week program will run from July 11th to August 19th and provide SMBs with resources on how to get started on TikTok and take their small business to the next level. Follow Me will serve as a guide for SMBs looking to share their stories, build their community on TikTok, and achieve their business goals.
I think we did talk about this, but it didn't have a name yet.
Yeah, I remember... No, they published TikTok was bragging about a report that said that TikTok was really good for small businesses. I think
but they also mentioned that they were unrolling more programs for small business. I think this is what they had been talking about.
Yeah. Is this something we care enough about to talk about, or like
I mean, not really. We kind of covered the issues with it before, where it's like
Yeah.
you can tell people how to grow it, but it doesn't give them. It doesn't explain to them all of the pitfalls of what it means when you go viral on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
If there was any other like key points other than that, like, yeah, I do feel like that's the whole, because it's still basically in like beta testing. I would be more interested if we can, if we know anybody who was invited to this beta test that just started this week. Just last week. What? The 11th was Monday. It started this past Monday.
I think I might later on go through this and have Mr. Person sign up for.
I was about to say, this seems like a job for Mr. Person, you know, the CEO of Business.Horse.
Listen, there are no horses involved. It's just Business.Horse because .com was unavailable.
Definitely a real human business person.
Yeah, that's why his email is businesspersonbusinessemail@gmail.com.
Yeah. Listen,
I can't some days.
He's very legit.
Okay.
All right. Those are the newsroom articles that were interesting and also have been posted since the last time we talked about newsroom articles.
It's nice.
So I don't have anything else.
I can report that I've finally been pulled into Irish Barack Obama TikTok. And I blame Savvy.
I got thrown into the periphery of that and just left.
Oh God.
I was happily on Disco Snail TikTok and then just hard left turn.
Right. So like the snail thing showed up, or was it Savvy or was it you or maybe or somebody like linked the snail one, and then I saw like 3 more videos about it, and it's all just Irish Obama.
I do appreciate the Disco Snail, but the first couple videos I saw about Irish Barack Obama TikTok were about how weird it is to be on Irish Barack Obama TikTok. Yep. And I just immediately turned off by any meme where the main meme is people commenting on the fact that they're experiencing the meme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not my favorite, to be honest. Like, I don't know. It's like a weird little...
They have wild cards in the term filters so that I can enter only asterisk videos on this sound as a filtered term. Literally, sometimes it's more than 1,000. Like there are only more than 1,000 videos with this sound. What a niche fringe sound that I have that is all over my For You page.
Right. See, I'm less concerned. What makes me laugh about there's only X number of videos under this sound. Why is it everywhere? Okay, there's X number of videos, but how many views do those videos have? Because if they have, you know,
hundreds,
thousands of
yeah,
like I can't believe I think that this sound is going viral, and actually I'm just on a very niche side of TikTok. There are only 500 videos on this sound that's existed for 2 days, and they each have and like the top 3 have over 1 million views. This isn't viral at all.
Right? Like it feels like the whole, I don't know, it feels like fandom, like AO3 fandom rules apply to sounds where like, yeah, it's going to grow exponentially. Like,
yeah, like I would be fine if the meme were getting it on the ground floor of this sound. But like I'm so depressed because this silly song with a funny premise is playing on my For You page 3 times, and there are only 400 sound videos in this sound.
I linked that one video that I did link. I think it's just kind of like there is no more winning over this, because I didn't realize that apparently Irish folks enjoy Barack Obama, because they apparently, the song was very popular over there, because there's a creator that I've been following for a while that's all it is. That's the whole TikTok, is he's like, yeah, see, we've got a casino.
I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised, just knowing like the small amount of Irish history that I know, and it is small, like that doesn't surprise me.
Yep.
Like it just doesn't.
And just put the little apostrophe if you feel when somebody finally typed that out, I was like, oh. Oh,
those two synapses finally just like
it was funny enough without being like like O'Malley, O'Brien, like okay, all right, okay, cool, thank you. I'm on the full joke now and not just the majority of the joke.
Right.
To what extent are you guys cool with me going back and ranting more about that annoying meta meme about sounds?
Oh my God, go for it.
Oh,
I like
fine.
Cool.
Because there's like 4 sounds that are doing that right now. I'm like, could you just shut up? We don't care.
Yeah. So a few weeks ago, I made a video on this paper in FYP We Trust, The Divine Force of Algorithmic Conspirituality. Algorithmic conspirituality is the belief that the algorithm is essentially a deity that is seeing into your soul and has like accurate insight into who you are as a person. And that is exactly what's happening with the, oh, I thought this was viral, this just means that the algorithm has diagnosed me with depression thing. Is like people think that they are seeing the meme because the algorithm is seeing into their soul. It's not. It's just not finished showing it to everybody yet. So you're in progress.
So you're telling me that the whole purpose of the algorithm is to act like the Fae, and they see your soul and they rip it out when you're not looking and then show it to everyone.
That is not the purpose of the algorithm. That is the belief that many users have about what the algorithm does. The purpose of the algorithm is to make money for TikTok.
Algorithm has diagnosed me with using Duolingo to learn Irish and also liking funky music. Same.
That's so specific.
The algorithm has diagnosed me with being interested in cooking and gaming.
One thing, you know?
Yeah, they only have 12 categories. That can't possibly be 2 of them.
No.
Right? Because the algorithm did accurately diagnose me with EDS, but it also very, very much keeps trying to tell me that I am also on the autism spectrum, and I'm just kind of like, everybody else says no, so thank you, but I don't know what to do.
That is honestly, I do think that it's just that neurodivergent TikTok is the whole bucket, and you get all of it no matter where you are in that space. Like I was actually just talking to a friend of mine. So I've had that same experience of like the algorithm really trying to convince me that I'm autistic, which unless scoring really low on autism screener tests is a lesser known autism trait, I'm not.
Right.
But like I was just talking to another friend of mine who's also having this crisis, and she was saying that like she thinks she might be autistic because she has this problem where when she's not interested in her job, she really struggles to make herself actually do her work.
Is that not a normal thing?
That is, this friend has a like diagnosed by a professional, some of the most severe ADHD this ever had. That is the thing. That's what the attention deficit is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I am not formally diagnosed with ADHD, but every time I say words, my therapist looks at me and goes, "It's the ADHD," and I go, "I don't have that according to professionals." And she goes, "When's the last time you got tested for ADHD?" I was like, "I was 12."
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to tell you just this like one little story about this friend, because it's so she's one of the people with her shit most together in my life. She really like has managed to like grow up and get a job, like did that at 18, and then has like continued to develop in a career, and like has always been able to afford her own apartment, has never had like just like her whole life fall apart due to you know, all of the shit that happens to everybody else I know and me. And she figured that she probably didn't have ADHD because she had her shit together. Or if she had it, it was very mild. She got evaluated, and part of the evaluation is an IQ test. And she was like never like a particularly exceptional student or like particularly like high in academic accomplishment. The results came back, and the doctor told her that she had some of the like nearly the worst ADHD he had ever seen, and also like the test they used for IQ did not like she maxed out the test. It didn't capture the upper limit for where she was.
Yeah.
And she's just like so incredibly brilliant that she's been able to use that to compensate for what an absolute fucking wreck her brain is.
Yep. I know I have two people in my life who are like that.
Which is somebody who like we met years ago back. I have, as I am sure both of you have picked up on, a very academic vibe.
No, you?
And I have put a lot of effort in my life into trying to like develop the skill of not making people feel insecure when talking to me, because a lot of people have a lot of experience with people with this vibe being really shitty to them and condescending and just huge assholes. And I was less good at that when I met this friend, and she definitely like had some of that insecurity, but like I am clearly not smart enough to be friends with you. Why am I friends with you? I'm just like, you are clearly smart enough. You're absolutely brilliant. I don't know why you think that you're, and it's very funny that like the result came around. It was like, oh no, it's not that you were as basic as you thought you were. It's that your brilliance was compensating for major incompatibility with capitalism.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, what is ADHD if not just a severe incompatibility with capitalism?
Right. Yeah. Because like if that anxiety is building up in you that you have to get the thing done, it's a huge motivator for all of that.
Well, because your brain does not function in a way that works within the structure that capitalism demands. And unfortunately, so much of our society, if not all of it, is built around that structure. So you are inherently at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, like, capitalism systematically alienates people from their labor, and people with ADHD shut down when alienated from their labor.
Yep. They do.
But words, brain. There was a thought that I was about to go towards. Oh, right. I was just going to say that I have a diagnosis of personality disorder not otherwise specified, which means that, and like I've gone through the DSM and checked, and this does seem to be true. I don't meet enough of the criteria for any of the personality disorders, but I do meet the criteria. Something about your personality is making it so that you can't keep a job. I think I've been diagnosed with anti-capitalist.
I know.
You know what? That feels very on brand.
I would, yeah. Like says, that's so vague. Personality, IDK man, something.
So,
I would love to get on disability for that.
Right? Be like, listen, they don't know what's wrong with my personality, but something ain't right.
The government is sending me money because I am on disability, because I can't work, because I am diagnosed with hating the government too much.
Hell yeah.
Government needs to bribe me into liking it again by paying me.
It's not quite the same thing, but when I first actually started to get therapy and help, they thought that I had a personality disorder. But really it was just because one of actually, honestly, both of my caregivers growing up had some issues that they should have worked through. And because I was raised in it and all of this is normal, and once we started peeling some of the layers away, so like at first they kind of did that. They're like, there's something. I don't know what it is. It's a little Susan of not quite right, but not that terrible. So, and then they were like, oh, okay. We're getting somewhere now. Let's keep peeling the layers away.
I'm boring. I just have the borderline personality disorder.
That's what my therapist was originally suggesting.
Yeah, no, I just have the will manipulate my way in and out of anything, and nothing is real.
I thought borderline personality was just the diagnosis you get if you show up with green hair.
Isn't it port wine hair?
To be fair, when I got my diagnosis, I did have green hair.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's like actually a thing, though, is like one of the criteria for borderline personality disorder is unstable sense of self. And there are psychologists who like see somebody come in and is like, oh, you have piercings and dyed hair. You have an unstable sense of self. You have borderline personality disorder. Like that's their whole diagnostic process.
Yeah, they actually, it's funny because like, I know when I originally got diagnosed, that was one of the markers that they had for me. And then about 6 months in, when I was in a program for other shit, they were like, yeah, no, you do not have an issue with your sense of self. You have an incredibly strong sense of self. You have no way of regulating it around other people, and you're destructive about it. But that is not, so like they took that one off, but I have enough markers that I still have BPD. I just have the
kind of jumping back to the earlier thing about autism screeners, because I again had that like whole crisis about it, like because I was really worried that I was just like being ableist and lying to myself about whether I had symptoms of autism because I didn't want to like be a person with autism. So I was up till 4 a.m. one night taking every autism test I could find. One of them was how much do you mask, which like one of the things a lot of people say is like, oh, if you score really low on autism tests, it's probably because you're just really good at masking. I scored lower on masking than binary gendered allistic people.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Which, to be fair, both allistic and autistic non-binary people score very, very low on masking. It really does look like masking is not an autism thing so much as it's gender.
Yep. Not surprised.
Masking was one of those things that was most difficult for me to like understand because I'd been doing it so much. Like I was so deep. I didn't even know
in my life.
I couldn't even fathom. But like again, my response to everything is to fawn, and I didn't realize that. So like we've got the masking, we've got the fawning, and you know when they shake hands, that really gets you to a weird spot.
I genuinely don't know when and if I am masking ever. But I think that's also built into the fact that like my natural inclination is to manipulate whatever situation I'm in. So I chameleon really, really well. And exactly. I just like I have to remind my brain that everybody else isn't also doing that.
Because I used to tell people all the time, like, I'm so good at compartmentalizing, like, you should be proud of me because I'm not like info dumpy, this crap that you clearly do not care about. But it's like, no, somebody should like the stuff that I like too. And how are they going to know about the stuff I like if I never talk about it?
Yeah, my attitude in moving through spaces is just, well, somebody here has the reality distortion field. It may as well be me.
Right.
Yeah. my quote we brought up, right? The I substitute. I know it's not actually from I substitute. No,
I reject your reality and substitute my own. It is from the Watchers.
I don't know. At some point, I just kind of
from someplace else, though.
That
I guarantee it because I saw that or I'm freaking Mandela affecting myself. The man said in an interview once, he's like, it was one of the best, really obscure quotes I'd ever heard in my entire life. And I just ran with it, and I made it my course.
I just know that
the face I just made was, oh, I'm also remembering that. I think it was like a Q&A video on Tested, where he talked
Okay.
about that. But
I
yeah,
just-
it was in the test. It was in the MythBusters credit sequence for like every season after the one in which he said that.
Pretty sure there was a Happy Bunny sticker that said that.
Oh, it's a phrase from obviously the movie we all remember so clearly, the 1984 movie The Dungeon Master. Cult classic. I will need to watch that movie immediately. Unless it's the wrong kind of dungeon master, then I'm going to need a friend first.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna look that up too.
I mean, honestly though, it's a beautiful quote. It's a fantastic quote.
Fantastic.
I just know that
Logically
at
sound.
some point in my life, I made the personal decision that like everybody's weird in their own way. And I was just going to behave in a way that I would naturally behave. And if people don't like it, that's not my issue.
May I read the one sentence explanation of the movie from IMDb?
Yes.
A demonic wizard challenges a modern day computer programmer to a battle of technology versus sorcery, with the programmer's girlfriend as the prize.
This becomes exceptionally more funny when you remember that this is an 80s movie.
Is
this the one with Tom Hanks in it?
No. I think I know which one you're talking about. However, hold on.
I'm a demonic wizard.
Yeah, no, I'm Argid's Googling something, so I'm just gonna vamp. You guys want to see some paintings?
Yeah, always.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I got like really excited for a second because I thought the dude was the guy that I can't even remember. Oh, that's pretty.
Thank you. If I'm supposed to be sending you a postcard soon, these are spoilers.
Spoilers, I did.
I like that this series is featuring a warm color palette.
Well, and did you hear? It's TikTok official. It's now Halloween.
There are two paintings that are overwhelmingly blue from this series. Both of them have already been mailed out, but they are just because I mixed way too much of this blue for this postcard. So I just had like a jar of it, and I just like the rest of the postcards are like, well, these are this color.
The paints I have on hand dictate exactly what gets painted.
So some people do things.
But do we want a couple of cards since we have like 13 minutes left?
Sure.
That or I can torture you all with like my CD collection that I was looking at again. If you want to see the music I was interested in the 90s.
All right. Do we want movie, TV movie, or video game movie?
Video game movie.
Okay. Which box is it? There we go.
Okay. Trying to both empty my head and.
I really hope that there's one that's just like both the game and the movie are Doom.
All right.
Dungeon Master X Sonic.
The answer is just Doom. Because the first half of it is the first half of the word Doom, and the second half of the second half of the word Doom.
All right. A purple dragon seeks to free his imprisoned dragon friend, while he and his son avoid the murderous pursuit of the Chicago mob and a freaky-looking, photo-loving Jude Law.
Spyro the Dragon. I don't know more of that game title.
It's just the first word.
Okay, so just Spyro. Okay. And now I have the Doom song stuck in my head.
Second half of the clue?
The second half of the clue is while he and his son avoid the murderous pursuit of the Chicago mob and a freaky-looking, photo-loving Jude Law. And the hint for it is that it is Paul Newman's final screen appearance.
That helps me none. I don't know what that would be.
Ocean's 11?
No, it is Spy Road to Perdition.
Oh, okay.
I believe you that those things are in that movie.
Birthed from the pages of Mad Magazine, everything is black and white with two agents engaged in violent espionage while on a school trip in London where they woo MJ and battle Mysterio.
Okay, something Spider-Man.
Spy versus Spider-Man. I don't know which Spider-Man that is.
I'll give it to you. It's Spy versus Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
Is that a chainsaw gun? Hell yeah. Use that bad boy to carve a path through the locust horde so a thoroughbred can navigate through the horrors of World War I and reunite with its loving owner.
I don't remember the name of the World War II movie about the horse. Or the video game with the chainsaw gun.
If I told you that when you said World War II movie about the horse, the last word of that sentence and the second word of that sentence make up the title of the movie. Yeah.
War Horse?
Total War Horse?
Gears of War Horse.
I know, the Gears of War Horse. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because all I can think of is Business Horse at this point.
Business horse.
Okay.
I
also didn't see War Horse because I had so many friends say, like, don't. I'm like, okay.
I didn't see War Horse because I don't go to see movies.
I don't watch movies that involve too many animals because usually that means one of the animals dies, and I'm one of those people where like people die on screen, not a problem.
One of my
any animal dies on screen, and I am having a bad time.
I have 3 friends who are horse girls. One of them went to the movie. She's like, I have never walked out on a movie before. I was like, okay, that's all I need to know.
Strictly by cultural osmosis.
Okay. Also valid.
Same. A small snail with big dreams of becoming the world's fastest street racer, finances his operation by vault hunting on the dangerous planet of Pandora alongside Claptrap, P. Claptrappington. I forgot that Claptrap has a full name.
Something Avatar?
Nope.
Oh.
I'll read it again. A small snail with big dreams of becoming the world's fastest street racer finances his operation by vault hunting on the dangerous planet of Pandora alongside Claptrap P. Claptrappington.
I know that somewhere in my brain is the name of that video game.
I don't remember that one because right now I'm remembering the giant snail that went really fast in that one movie.
So the snail.
I know that I have seen commercials for the movie that is the snail thing, but my brain is only giving me Marcel the Shell with shoes on. Which, by the way, that movie came out last year. There's shoes on movie.
Fairy Princess has the movie.
Turbo.
Yeah.
Is it actually Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, you're looking for the game now. So the video game piece of it is the vault hunting on the dangerous planet of Pandora alongside Claptrap, P. Claptrappington. If you don't know who Claptrap is, then you probably don't know the video game because that's like
I feel like when you say it, I'm going to know it. I'm going to be mad at myself because that is such...
Are you familiar with the character Tiny Tina?
I know that I also have heard that name.
I'm just thinking of the person who's Tina from the Burger Show. And then they're not the same people.
What?
Borderlands.
Oh! I fucking...
It's Borderlands.
Okay. I love this game. Let's go.
Oh my god. Okay. Jump
no.
in and out of paintings in a polygonal mushroom kingdom and collect enough power stars to find out that the creepy 9-year-old that you adopted is actually a hormone-deficient 33-year-old woman. Wowza.
Okay, Super Mario Brothers for the 64 is the first game.
Super Mario 64.
And like,
Super Mario 64 Forgotten?
Nope.
is
Yes,
that
This is one of
actually
my-
Benjamin
name.
Button?
Like the shapes of horror movie names.
This is so, if it helps, this horror movie is getting a sequel now, even though the movie's been over for.
Super Mario 64 Fin?
Yes.
Thank you, Blythe.
Super Mario 64.
Okay. Okay, got it.
That movie fucked me up, by the way.
Okay.
A stretchy dude, an invisible gal, a rock-hard guy, and a flame bro dodge dysentery and traverse the American frontier in search of a new beginning.
Fantastic Oregon
Fantastic
Trail.
Oregon Trail. Okay. All right. At least there's one that we can all be like, yeah, we got this one.
Right? I'm like skipping ones that I don't think any of us would get. Merlin bequeaths knowledge upon an apprentice who will prove worthy enough to raise the king's blade and land sick kickflips and ollies in the warehouse with his ex-game friend.
And I know the second one is Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah.
Unless it's the Bam
It's like
Margera
the
one.
Sorcerer's Stone.
The Sword and
Are
the
they
Stone
both-
Hawk.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Sword and the Stony Hawk Pro Skater.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. I hate it here. Yeah. Okay.
You're an urban planner meticulously building residential, commercial, and industrial districts so Meg Ryan can fall in love with a heavenly man before being obliterated while not practicing proper bike riding safety precautions.
SimCity of Angels.
Okay.
Yes. See, sometimes you get them real quick.
Yeah.
Yep. I have the movie poster from City of Angels for no good reason.
I just like there's a They Might Be Giants song from their first album that really sounds like it is the plot of City of Angels.
Yeah.
But it came out like multiple years before the movie.
Which song?
She's an Angel.
You know, that was a dumb question of me to ask. Oh, God. Okay. Soil-dwelling invertebrate shoots a red blaster and wears a super-powered robotic suit that turns him into Enigma code cracker Alan Turing.
Earthworm Joker?
Earthworm Imitation Game.
What's that?
Earthworm Imitation Game.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, when you
Thanks,
first said Stretchy Dude earlier, Earthworm Jim was the first one that popped in my head. I was hoping that it would come up.
Well, lucky for you.
Earthworm Jim. Like, that's what I remember.
To survive an alien invasion, all this spectacled man needs is a crowbar and a tiger on a boat set adrift in the Pacific Ocean.
I don't remember the name of that movie, but I do vividly remember the trailer for it.
I remember the name of the movie. What was the clue for the first drink again?
To survive an alien invasion, all this spectacled man needs is a crowbar.
Half-Life of Pi?
Yes. Okay, I think this is going to be the last one.
Okay.
Oil rig crew is enlisted to blow up a naughty space rock and save Earth. But first, they need to ascend perilous steel girders and take out the rowdy barrel tosser.
Armageddon Con.
Yeah.
I didn't say that right, but I know it's right.
No,
Armageddon and
said it correctly.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one to close out on.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play Burger Time?
What's that?
Did you guys ever play Burger Time? It's a lot like Donkey Kong, except instead of climbing the towers to save the princess, you're climbing the towers to walk over burger ingredients so that they fall down to lower layers before you are attacked by soda and fries.
I would play that.
It was a lot of fun.
See, that's got like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles / Attack of the Killer Tomatoes vibes, and
Yeah, I mean, it was like
I don't recall ever having heard of that.
Nintendo Entertainment System game that was like, I think, just like a slightly upscaled Atari game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many of them were. I have the worst racing game ever. That it just like the UI is like so bad, and like the part that makes it a challenge is that it just will randomly go like, so like you have zero control over it.
Have you guys ever heard of the game that Penn and Teller made? I forget what it's called, but it was a game they made in criticism of the argument that video games train people, like that what people learn in video games will make them do those things in real life. And it was just like, okay, well, if video games teach people real life skills, then we'll teach them a real life skill. It's a game where you drive a bus from, I think, Las Vegas to LA. And it is in real time, the actual length of time it takes to drive that. And the steering, the wheels aren't properly aligned, so it drifts. So you have to hold the joystick slightly to one side the entire time, or you will drift off the road. And if you drift off the road, you have to wait in real time for a tow truck to come from Las Vegas to pick you up, and then in real time get towed back to the start of the game.
You know, the fact that this is a Penn and Teller creation does not surprise me in the least. But like, good God.
I remember hearing about that.
If I recall correctly, to spice it up at like the 6-hour mark, a bug hits your windshield.
Great.
There's some other game too, like that, where like all you do is you play a guy that works at an office. That's it. That's the whole game. I'm gonna say sure. I don't remember the names of anything.
I mean, in the Stanley Parable, you do play a guy who works in an office.
Oh, Stanley Parable. Yes, I didn't hear you. I heard you say something, but that is not what I. Right. Anyway.
All right. Well, it is 9:02. I have some fresh new Darwin Fitzroy fanfic to read as soon as this stream is over. So I'm going to call it a night. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.